Yeah, I've seen this, and as a talent, former talent, my heart goes out to the guys here because this is not a fun position to be in for anybody. And that includes the referee, because I think the referee was somehow supposed to be involved in a different way with this belt shot. I'm not quite sure. But basically, we got Jericho down right here. Dax Harwood, I was about to say FTR Bald to honor you, and the referee. Oh, by the way, we have not one, but two pay-per-views coming up soon. AEW Revolution on March something, and then All in Texas on Saturday, July 12th. So we'll play this straight through. Now, Jericho is going over to get the belt for the belt shot here. And which title is this, by the way? Is this ROH or AEW Collision? It's AEW.
Yeah, but it might still be an ROH belt.
I think
Jericho's the champion still, so it's probably an ROH belt.
I do believe that's true. I'm not sure. Sure, the comments will let us know. Okay, I'm going to back it up there. How long was this match, by the way? Where are we at? We're in the finish, but what minute mark do you think we're at?
If you're going to be moving that slowly, I would like the match to be in the 7-hour range.
All right, I'll play it in real time. I'm just going to this belt shot because...
No, I thought you were playing it in real time. It's the slowest attempt at a belt shot I've ever seen in my life.
No, it's not even slow-mo. I'm scrubbing, but it is slow.
The match went 15 minutes 24.
It's a long match. It really is a long match. Maybe not for AEW, but in general. So these guys could be spent. I'm not doubting it. They both worked hard. Jericho works hard. Dax works hard. Everybody pretty much works hard. Nobody goes in there being lazy, but this is kind of an off. He ducked way. Yeah, it is the ROH title. You're right there. Say he's ROH champion. Dax ducked. Oh, all right. Tell me about this. We're going to go. It's already slow-mo, as you say, but much slower. All right. Why are both of them ducking? Was there a positioning error here? Because some people are thinking these two guys are right here. Jericho's coming over there. And we get two ducks right here and right here. He's obviously going to belly to back him. So that should be the spot. But why is the ref ducking when Jericho's not very slowly swinging the belt at him at all? Do you notice that?
Yeah.
It's like he's
doing
a completely
not
different
meant to duck.
Was Dax Harwood not meant to duck?
No, was the referee not meant to duck? Because why would... Okay, right. So if you reverse it back to the beginning, right? The referee is very close to Dax, which usually signals to me is that the referee's going to get knocked out.
Or what could have happened was, and I don't think the belly to back, I said belly to belly maybe earlier, the belly to back throws everything for a loop. You know why? Because if Dax was supposed to duck and the referee was supposed to duck, Jericho would be running through them with the belt. Like not a swing, but like a clothesline straight through. But it looks like this was set up to be like duck the belt, spin around, I'll belly to back you. So I don't know why the ref is ducking down. Is this the referee from the Moxley Ray Phoenix thing that I did? Is this the same referee?
Oh, God, don't mention that.
But see, why is he ducking here when Jericho's doing this and he's ducking? Is it just in case, like, oh, the belt's coming? Was he proactively or trying to say, well, I could have got hit with that? That's the first thing that it looks like a major miscommunication. Usually when things slow down, which they're going to slow down even more after this, right? Mm-hmm. There's a major miscommunication in the finish or the spot. So
yeah, at some point the referee should play a part in it, but it just seems like he should be knocked down for some reason. And we're going to see something we're going to see where Jericho gets slammed there. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Is that the next spot is that Jericho's going to grab the belt and put it on his chest, or should do, when Harwood does a diving headbutt. But then Jericho here pushes the belt really far away from himself and then tries to grab it back. It's very odd.
The part I don't like, and it's hard to do this, because in your mind you have the internal clock, which Jericho's is usually right on time. But with this, it exposes I'm taking a belly to back, but I'm going to look for the belt because I need the belt to be somewhere in the next spot instead of like taking the bump laid out and then shaking it off and going, where's the belt? You see that little that little addition instead of this is a spot. See what I mean? Like, oh, that belt's supposed to be there. If he bumped back like this, grabbed his head, went and saw, looked and saw Dax, looked and saw the belt, looked back and forth, and then went for the belt. I don't know. I don't know what's supposed to happen. And Jericho has a podcast, so maybe he can. We have a show, not a podcast, by the way. You said podcast earlier. Jericho has a podcast. Maybe he can explain what happened here. But Dax goes up. Now this here tells me, was the referee supposed to be down on the previous spot? In other words, Dax ducked early. Jericho swung like he wanted him to duck. Was it supposed to be hit him with the belt and Dax hit heads with the referee, but the referee's ducking and they're both ducking early? It's very confusing what was supposed to happen. I can't tell you what went wrong so far, except it looks like something went wrong because I don't know what was supposed to happen to make it right.
Then the next portion is the headbutt onto what is supposed to be the belt, but for some reason Jericho pushed it so far away that he didn't have time to get it and put it in position again. So look, it slips out of his hand, and then afterwards Dax sort of just hangs about for a second, not quite realizing whether he should be down or up.
Yeah. He was trying, it was out of his reach. He had his finger on it right here. His finger was kind of on it right here. I guess he thought he had a little bit of a grip where he can just, but that's also dangerous because what if he headbutts and it's like the edge of the belt or the metal or, you know what I mean? It felt this was like slow and rushed at the same time. Do you feel, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, isn't that what happens when something goes wrong? You do double speed to try and catch up and like cover for it. And then if a second thing goes wrong afterwards.
Well, yeah, you make the mistake, you try to make up for it, you make two more mistakes, all that stuff. But they're rushing, but the pace is still extremely dragging with that. Now he hit here. I don't know if right here from this spot, if they called an audible to go home, because Jericho, I would think, would be you get hit with the belt, you're kind of like this, then he hits the Judas effect, back elbow. Or he just pins him off the belt shot, which leads me to believe now we're calling something like do this, do that, you know? Now, and the referee has his back there, which he should, but if you have to communicate an audible, now the middleman is completely taken out. Now you're facing away this way, he's facing away that way. There's no communication. So is it supposed to be overbooked that you take the headbutt onto the belt, then I hit you with more moves after that?
There's more to this, which I think there is. Is there a belt shot? I think there is. And then he kicks out, and then it's the Judas effect.
Yeah, this is now if Dax is with the referee, then the belt shot. Now is that supposed to be what supposed to happen in the beginning? I don't know. They both ducked way too early. Plus, he hits him with the belt. Then he waits for him to get up to hit him with the elbow, correct?
No, he tries to pin him, and then Dax kicks out. And then he hits the Judas effect, and then Dax is pinned.
You're right. I watched it like 3 times. I was just trying to assume, okay, is there anything right here? That guy, the referee's doing a good job selling. Right there.
I mean, beforehand, because the referee clearly needed to be down at some point, because when Jericho was down before he grabbed the belt, he sort of paused at the referee's eyes.
Right here.
So the referee at some point was meant to be hit before then, but look there. He just randomly just paused, actually the referee's shirt.
He just like kind of raked across his eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know when the ref bump was supposed to happen. I don't know if Dax was supposed to bump into the ref, if it was supposed to be a belt shot. It kind of looked like maybe Jericho's reflex is still pretty good. Maybe he saw Dax was ducking and just spun it around because it wasn't lined up the way he wanted it to be lined up. Let's skip ahead to the belt shot here. There's the kick out. And here's the Judas effect. Now, Jericho doesn't look very happy right here. He's like, okay, we got to get through this. And here it is. I know it's his finish, James, but the belt shot is the heaviest shot. This thing looks good and it's there for effect, Judas effect. But wouldn't you think the belt shot, and if you're a heel, that should be the pin to cheat and keep the babyface strong to some extent?
Yes, you would. Absolutely. Which is why it's weird why a belt shot was a kick out and then
An elbow was
I don't think the
finish.
Judas effect isn't a very good finisher.
Well, you can make it. He made it a good finish because people believed it. They know what it is. It's a decent name for it. It's just a spinning back elbow. You can make anything a finish where people believe it, but they believe it a little bit less than when you're getting crowned with a belt and then kicking out of that, which, by the way, didn't look good either, but Jericho protected him. I just feel like there was something initially, and I don't know what it is, that was supposed to happen. And that's what set where the referee was supposed to be, where Dax was supposed to be, where Jericho was supposed to be, and where the belt was supposed to be, threw it all off. And then they needed to kind of, this here feels like maybe we have the blueprint for the finish, but because this went wrong, we have to kind of snake our way through to figure out audibles to get to that finish.
Okay, I've got a theory, and it's Jericho's fault. Because the theory is that he
Good, let him be mad at you.
and I'm definitely going to be wrong about this, I know. But, I mean, this is probably what should have happened, is that he should never have had the belt, holding the belt initially. He should have, as you said, gone for a clothesline, because the referee was nearly touching Dax. He was so close at one point that when Dax ducked, that the referee should have taken a clothesline. And then they do the rest of it. It would have all made sense then. But it's because what you said was that Jericho was swinging a belt, and you don't swing a belt or you go with a belt like a clothesline usually. You swing it round and do a pirouette. So maybe that's why the referee ducked, because he just didn't think that was what was going to happen and just sort of like was protecting himself.
It's very hard to say. I don't have any good answers. And the ring positioning with the referee being so close to this guy, when the referee should be kind of between the guys looking at them, you know what I mean? There's certain things with that, with Dax being on his feet. Now, if Jericho wanted to be a real heel, you know what you could do? Set it up to where he poked him in the eye, did whatever, which should have been a DQ, by the way. But inadvertently, if he had ducked, like you're saying, without the belt, if Dax had ducked and he clotheslined the referee, that's inadvertent. But now the belt comes into play because the referee's out. So Jericho is going to take advantage as an opportunist to say, there's a lot of stuff missing, like especially when he's got the belly to back. That in between, so like Jericho's just looking to see where do we got to be next, which means something went wrong because Jericho would normally fill it in with selling the belly to back, then looking around to see where two people are, the inanimate object over here, and look around twice to see what opportunities do I have to cheat while everybody's out using that belt. That's a 3 to 5 second thing that's easy to translate, but there's something telling me, and this is where I don't blame Jericho. Jericho's looking around seeing how can I fix what just went wrong? But the problem is two people aren't even facing you. There's not a middleman with the referee to communicate to Dax saying, you know, give Chris a few seconds to get the belt onto his chest, or give something I can do here. You know what I mean? Now, hindsight's 20/20. But you know what I feel should have happened? If Dax is going up to the top, Jericho's on his chest and stomach with the belt underneath him, or against him. Then when Dax goes for the headbutt, he rolls around and the belt's there. And that's easy. And maybe that's what was supposed to happen, but it all went south. And when that happens, it's hard to think on your feet. And for Jericho, I'm just giving a little bit more grace because he's so much more experienced and he realizes how to think on the fly, that you're relying on two other people to be on that wavelength. And I'm telling you what, the referees in AEW are never on the same wavelength as the talent. So you have to, now Jericho's got to think, how do I get word to this guy? Or he's already up at the top and I gotta reach the belt. These are just things of, but the short answer is, I don't know what went wrong in order to, or I don't know what was supposed to go right in order to tell you it just looked like a botch and it was a bad finish.
I think that Dax was meant to headbutt the belt on the diving headbutt.
100%.
And he was going to kick out of that, and then the belt shot was just on the fly stuff.
Let me give you this. Nate, dude, there was a lot of supposed to be's that never happened. And these are the alternatives. You know what I think? He was supposed to headbutt the belt and maybe get pinned, but because Jericho couldn't put the belt in position for it, it ended up being a kick out with the Judas effect as a alternative finish. Can you see that? Because they both are smart enough workers to know. No. And even if Dax didn't think it looked like crap, Jericho did, and when he covered him, he said kick out. That's my guess.